Welcome to the MEGAMAD podcast. Here we'll explore the mysteries of digital marketing and small business development. Having grown and sold his first online business, Mark now seeks to help other business owners build their own.
Hey guys, it's Mark Grasse with MEGAMAD podcast, and today I have Jack Ross, the founder of Community Austin. We're going to be talking about his new venture and how he is connecting everyone even before the launch, which is happening in mid-July. So Jack, welcome.
Thank you.
So tell me about Community Austin, kind of what it is and what you're planning to do.
Sure. Community Austin really stemmed from me living here the last 6 years in Austin. It's a project that I'm very passionate about. Really stems from two things. One, the most recent isolation from the pandemic. I myself actually got COVID in February during the power outage. So I was isolated for a good 14 days, and I was thinking about how could I take this negative and turn it into a positive and really change the overall vantage point of people within Austin, because there was a lot of negativity that was going on throughout the pandemic. And it kind of multiplied for me with A, being sick, and B, the power outage, where I truly really felt isolated from the community. So Community Austin really stems from that experience, and also from me moving here 6 years ago. Didn't know anyone, came from New York, didn't have family or friends here, and really needed to find a sense of community within Austin. So it's a synergy of combining those two things and coming up with Community Austin.
That's
and
awesome.
our tagline of promoting positivity.
That's fantastic. Actually, the promo positivity, that's been really popular since you came out with the T-shirt, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's been what, some 30 days? 60
Really,
days?
30 days. I've seen them all throughout Austin. I've seen them at the Austin FC game. I've seen them at local grocery stores. I've seen them at local events, at Native Hostel, at various coffee shops throughout the community. I'm a member at On It. I see a lot of the trainers wearing them during their workouts. A lot of the members wear them. Yeah, it's been fantastic.
That's awesome. Yeah, I always, if you're a client of mine, I'm always yelling at you to actually get out and do things, which is actually the hardest part with online business, because people think that you could just put up a website, put up an Instagram account, and just post whatever, and people are going to connect to it. But, you're proof that if you actually go pound the pavement, shake hands, hand out merch, that it'll actually do something.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned that. I mean, we're utilizing social media in a positive light, right? So everything you see on my Instagram is basically what I do on a daily basis. I'm shaking hands with the community. I work out early in the morning. I go to coffee shops. I go to the various local events, whether it's local artists, whether it's graffiti artists, whether it's bands, musicians, live podcasts with Easy Does It. The day generally takes me and leads me to this direction of my content.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, and I think it's, you've actually tested out kind of your concept, and even within that time frame, you've decided, right? Because initially it was connect, contribute. What was it?
It was
Promote.
connect. It was connect, create, and contribute.
Yes. Yeah. And actually, even that, like, as I have a lot of clients that are saying, they want this slogan that says all this stuff, and it's like, nobody's going to,
Exactly.
remember that for the most part. They might remember one piece of something that you said.
Well, it's sort of, I look at that as our mission statement now. That's like our core values, right? We want to connect people. We want to utilize the creative energy within Austin. And we also want to contribute, right? We want to give back. We want to promote those that are giving back to this amazing community.
That's awesome. Well, and so the end goal of your business, if you say like, okay, 5 years from now, you're going to look back on where you started and what have you accomplished during that time, like ideally. Not that you could predict this, but I always like seeing the vision.
I'd like to change the narrative here in Austin to have a positive community where we're all uplifting one another. We all see the good in one another. We get rid of all the negativity. It's not about politics, race, sex, belief. It's just coming together as one.
Well, and from a business perspective, you want people to find that positivity by going to communityaustin.com.
Correct.
Seeing your giant directory of businesses that have kind of committed to your vision of
Exactly.
positivity, people, artists.
It's a network, right? It's a positivity network. All things positive.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, and you're already seeing it. I know you've been going to the soccer games and everywhere you go because you're out and about. You're seeing the T-shirts.
I've seen my shirts again in coffee shops, on the street, on South Congress, East Side, up in the Domain. We've actually seen them in Cedar Park, Georgetown. I mean, even the outside areas of Austin. A lot of people are behind the movement and are supporting it, which is it's overwhelming. I'm so happy.
No, it's fantastic, and again, I think it's just because you personally, the founder of the company, are out doing it.
Yeah.
Nobody's gonna work at your business like you are. Is my experience, and just you can't see it, but he actually got a tattoo of promote positivity.
Yeah, this actually happened on a whim. I was promoting Evan Duvall from Easy Does It. I was at one of his podcasts. He does an interesting thing. He does a live podcast at Native Hostel every Saturday. And it's unique in that we're in an environment, a communal environment where there's a coffee shop, there's a bar, but yet he wears these headphones. Everyone in the crowd wears these headphones from Austin Silent Disco. And everyone's truly paying attention, is totally involved in the podcast. And this was completely on a whim that day. I was wearing a positivity shirt, promote positivity T-shirt, and everybody's like, "Where'd you get those?" And I told everybody that it's coming out soon on my website, and that a portion of that is giving back to charity. But there was a local tattoo artist there named Kyle who actually approached me, and he said, "We should put that on your arm." So I live it every day. So
that's huge.
Yes.
I don't have a tattoo of my business. So, I mean, I want to say, I've probably worked with like 300 businesses over the last few years, and I don't think any of them have.
Yeah, I don't think I would put any of my previous companies that I've been involved with on my arm, but this one for sure.
That's super cool. And I know you're working with a local charity.
Yes. Yes. Let Us Dream. So Let Us Dream is a charity that's near and dear to me. I met a gentleman named Michael Lee about a month ago, and we've been working on this project. Anything I could do to promote this local charity. They actually give back to underprivileged children on the east side every single year and give them a Christmas that they otherwise wouldn't have. So that's, again, anything that I could do to give back. I know we're working on a project. Let Us Dream is going to be supplying school supplies when the children actually go back to school in September. It's a local backpack program where they're going to be giving back to the community and the kids that are less unfortunate. So
that's super cool.
Another great thing we're involved with, which I'm proud about.
Well, and so you have the charity side, you have the business side.
Yeah.
So positivity businesses. Who would be an example of one of those?
Positive businesses?
Mm-hmm.
There's lots of them. I find my positivity every morning through the local coffee shops. Coffee and Crisp is a huge one. What we've learned through the pandemic is we all need to pivot, right? So what did I do? I pivoted. I was getting tired of working from home, so I started working from coffee shops. And you'd be amazed at the positivity that's at your local coffee shops. I utilize Coffee and Crisp as a home base up in the Domain. I've rubbed elbows with many different entrepreneurs, people that want to give back to the community. So that's a place that I constantly frequent at. Another local business, same, is Cosmic down on South Congress. I've met a lot of great people there. That's actually where I've met a lot of my community that I'm involved with, whether it be Evan from Easy Does It or some of the local graffiti artists that I'm involved with, the local musicians, etc. Anywhere between like Austin FC is huge right now. I mean, we've never had a professional soccer team. So the networking there, the positivity that's there from that stadium, I mean, you could feel the energy of coming off a pandemic and being isolated for this past year and a half to now being able to connect in such a large forum such as that. So you could feel the excitement there.
That's so neat.
And then, another one such as Native Hostel is near and dear to my heart. Antonio over there, who I've met, really brings together the community. I mean, another place where you could see the creatives within Austin, right? I mean, you see those two giant murals as you walk in you'll never know who you're going to bump into there. I've met some famous people, I've met some people that are about to become famous, but I've also met some, people that are too that are a little lost and are trying to find direction, and I think they could find it there just through networking and meeting with various people throughout the community.
That's awesome. So in terms of, say I want to become part of the Community Austin movement, what could what will I benefit or what can I give back as being part of the community?
Sure. So two things. One, we are obviously giving back to Let Us Dream. So any donation that you could give, we'll give back to that charity to make sure those kids have the proper Christmas. The other charity is Community First. We need to raise $20,000 in order for us to purchase the materials to build a home for the homeless. Um, Homelessness now is a huge thing here in Austin. You see it on a lot of the overpasses, underpasses. You see it down at City Hall. You see it down at Lady Bird Lake. You see it on the east side. If there's something that we could do as far as building a home and give back to someone who's homeless and maybe give them a little bit of positivity, I think that would go a long way in our mission here.
But you'll also be posting about upcoming positive events.
Yeah, I mean, you'll see on my Instagram every day. It's literally me and my team just posting positive pictures. It could be positivity at a restaurant. It could be positivity at a local softball game. It could be positivity at the church. I go to Austin Ridge and Bee Cave, another great community of people where the message there that Brad Thomas gives, the pastor there, I mean, that's positive.
No. Well, and from a marketing perspective, your ability to kind of go out there and connect with people with nothing but essentially a T-shirt. Most entrepreneurs are scared to do that kind of stuff. Like, how do you, how did you get into hey, how
well,
are you?
I'm an extrovert at heart, right? So I think what the pandemic caused me to realize is that I'm definitely not an introvert, right? That drove me nuts to be home for a year and a half. So I think, like everyone, I've got that energy now of connecting face to face. I've got 20 years experience in the event industry. So, I mean, the importance of meetings and meeting face to face is something that I've grown up with and built my career on. So I'm kind of incorporating that into everything we do with Community Austin, because we're bringing the community together, but we're bringing it together in a positive light. So it's tattooed on my arm. I wear the T-shirts, but I think more so it's the aura, it's the light that I shine on individuals. It's just a simple hello, and it's also appreciate you, right?
No.
It's and that's been another slogan of mine that I use whenever I'm introduced to someone and they give back or they give something to me. I really appreciate them and appreciate you. Austin has been a theme. We created a T-shirt with that also that you'll start seeing throughout the community. I mean, it's truly all about giving back. We're promoting, but we're also giving back, and we're promoting those that do so.
That's awesome. So I know you haven't officially launched, and that's coming up in a couple weeks here.
Yes.
Where can people find out more information or get involved or?
Through Instagram, through communityaustin.com. Website's officially dropping any week now. So excited about that. We're going to be having an event. Again, more information you'll see via our social media on Instagram, Community Austin. We're going to be doing an event around ACL, which will be an exclusive event, exclusive network of positive people where we'll have, I envision, local vendors, wellness community. There'll be local graffiti artists. There'll be musicians. It'll be a give back function where a portion of the proceeds, ticket sales, etc., will go to a local charity to be named. And then I could see future events where we raise money for local charities. We'll have an event surrounding that. We're also pitching this idea to South by in March, which I'm very excited about. Kind of like a Shark Tank pitch, where entrepreneurs will see if this is something that could generally really take off and not only have Community Austin, but I could see it in the future be Community Houston, Community Dallas, some of the other communities that are in our great United States of America. I think I could see that branching out and becoming.
That's awesome. Well, it's amazing that you conceive the business and then you're out working it, and you have a lot more than a lot of businesses that have been trying for a long time. I've worked with businesses where we don't have the website in a year and a half.
Yeah.
And so for you to go from concept in February to launch in July and already have some momentum is fantastic.
It's funny you mention that because I've met a ton of entrepreneurs through this entire experience, and this really started off on April 23rd. I pitched this on my birthday with my with my dad. Actually, was sitting while I was pitching this to a local investor. He didn't get it at first, but he saw my passion, he saw my drive, and he saw the investor's response to it. And he was blown away that I could actually come up with an idea, which again started on the 23rd, pitch it, know that I've got something going here, and then it's turned into a business that's being launched in July. Not only that, I think it's more so the people's lives that I've affected in various ways. I mean, I get DMs all the time of, "Hey, you changed my life. I want to become an entrepreneur. I see how quickly you're up and running. I could do it too. I need to stop procrastinating and really start, my business." So that's been very, very heartwarming, and I'm overwhelmed with joy when I see things like that happening. But getting back to the actual entrepreneur part, to know that I'm actually on the right path. Every entrepreneur says that when you start your own business, it's not work. So for me, to get this up and running in 2 months instead of a year and a half, like you said you're accustomed to, I mean, why not start it? I mean, I would have started this yesterday if I could, because it's just me. It's giving back to the community. It's being involved. It's everyday life here. I mean, I truly love Austin. I love its people. I love everything it has to offer. So I'm just more or less sharing my day with the community and shedding some positive light.
It's fantastic. I mean, the commitment side is huge because it's like you said, it's not work, but you're putting in the work.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people, they build the brand and think that's it. Everybody's gonna come think it's cool, and I think the brand looks super cool, not just because I designed it. That's part of the reason.
Yeah.
But it's that's the easy, fun part is designing the brand. The hard part is the pushing and hustling and committing to doing it all the time.
You said something that's very important. So everyone that I'm involved with, like yourself, I mean, I saw when I met with you 2 months ago. It's been 2 months or 3 months.
It's a lot longer, but
I remember meeting you at a local Starbucks, and the vision was there, but it quite wasn't there yet. And I think through your mentorship and some of the key things that you've said to me and advice you've given me, I mean, you're a big part of that. You're a big part of the brand. You're a big part of everything that we do with Community Austin. And I can't thank you enough because you've given me a lot of valuable insight. But, everyone that I'm involved with, I back, right? So, example, Easy Does It, Evan Duvall, local live podcaster here. I met him at On It, which is the community, small community workout where I've met a lot of amazing people. They really helped me keep my mental clarity and keep me positive daily. So with them, I owe a lot, right? So, it's people like that, like On It, like Evan Duvall and his podcast, like yourself, giving back that motivate me and to, assist me in making sure that I have a smile on my face every single day and I'm doing the right thing.
No, it's fantastic. Well, and even just taking advice, because for a lot of people, especially people who are bold enough to make their own business, they're like, I got this.
It's scary. It's scary.
Well, that's maturity though, because you learn like I don't actually know anything. It's my experience.
It's definitely scary. I mean, especially there was a lot of businesses that shut down. So I view every negative as a positive. Right? I mean, we went through something that was unprecedented. I mean, literally since, when this last pandemic happened, the roaring 20s happened. And now I don't know if this is going to be the roaring 2021.
I think the whole decade's going to be like this.
Yeah. But I think it's definitely changed people. I think it's changed me. I mean, I I got COVID and I experienced it, and it's something to take seriously, but it's also something to not let it divide us as a community.
Well, and appreciate what you
Yeah,
have.
exactly.
It just takes. I am introverted, so I didn't mind
Yeah,
staying
yeah.
inside, and I don't do much anyways. But you could feel it with everybody else, and so it's not just you.
Well, let me ask you this: you being an introvert, do you feel the energy now that we are at the endemic, and
Well, I feel the appreciation.
you're
Like
feeling it?
people are out and they seem
Uh-huh.
happier because they're out again.
Hmm.
And it's not. I think if nothing else, people will take that less for granted than they did before. Because
Hmm.
before, especially in Austin, there was always events. There was
Yeah,
always something going on. There was
exactly.
always some big thing going to happen. And now you're like, oh great, South by Southwest might happen again. ACL might happen
And
again.
that's the reason why I moved here, right? I moved here for all those things you just mentioned. And my mom and dad, who I'm very close to, they live in Florida. And during the pandemic, it was very hard for me because I see them once a month, and I wasn't able to travel and see them at first. So because we were so isolated, I didn't have a sense of community when this first started. Now, so more than ever, since we are towards the endemic here, and hopefully we're putting this behind us, and we won't have another outbreak, etc. I, for the first time, can honestly say, even prior, to this happening, I really feel a sense of community here in Austin. I think people want to be positive. I think they're tired of all the negativity. I think they're tired of taking sides. It's exhausting. It's so much easier to be positive and to support one another than to
Yeah.
hate, right?
Well, it's so much energy, either way, but it's less energy to just.
Well, and it
Yeah.
comes back twofold, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like the people that I meet on a daily basis, it's whatever I'm putting out into the community, I'm getting back, and it just motivates me even more, right?
That's awesome.
I mean, I'm meeting local artists, I'm meeting philanthropists, I'm meeting people that are involved with various charities. The list goes on and on and on, and it's just amazing all the good that's not recognized,
No.
that you don't hear about, that's
Mm-hmm.
out there within the community.
Yeah, because I work with a bunch of nonprofits, and a lot of times that's the hardest part for them is to get out there. And they a lot of times the nonprofit is a secondary job for them,
Mm-hmm.
so it's not something that they could put 100% effort into because they also have to make money
Yeah,
and survive.
yeah.
So for you making a directory of local anything is super helpful for people. I'm a big fan of curated content
Mm-hmm.
by humans
Yes.
because what you have online is actually curated by robots or algorithms that are created
Mm-hmm.
by giant corporations like Google, and they're deciding what's getting found. Now, if you have a brand like yours where you're saying, hey, I'm going to go out there, meet the community, find these businesses that really fit with the message I'm providing, then now I have a human involved,
Mm-hmm.
and I trust that a lot more for the most part.
Yeah, I mean that's where really my background, 20 years of being in the event industry. I mean, we used to always say in the event industry the power of face to face, right? Yes, it was good to be on Zoom. It was good to be on FaceTime. It was good to connect in that way when we couldn't, right? We couldn't.
Yeah, better than nothing.
Yeah, I mean we weren't able to meet face to face. But now, why not utilize platforms such as Instagram, such as websites, social media, whatever your platform of choice is? We're focusing solely on Instagram, to bring the community together, to actually volunteer, to give back, to meet in you know, communal areas where there could be a small group or it could be a large group of people. Again, spreading that message of positivity and getting people to do things again with each other, because there's such a creative energy here in Austin
Yeah.
between the music, the restaurant scene, the artists, the pride that you see out on the streets. It's truly amazing.
No, it's fantastic. And again, I think people are just looking to connect, and it's hard a lot of times if you're not in the know. Even if you're in the know on some social media channel, a lot of people just don't know what to do next, or they're more worried about making their art than expanding social media presence, or
Yeah, the introvert type of person will reach out to me. I've got plenty of examples. They will DM me and say, hey, how could I get involved? Where they may be shy at first, they're utilizing social media to reach out. But when I see them face to face and that glow that they have, that they're in the community again and that they're helping others or asking for help, is a tremendous feeling. And that's truly the whole mission of Community Austin.
That's fantastic. Well, I think, I'll let you go hustle some more.
All right.
Get out there and talk to people. But yeah, if you guys want to find out more, go to communityaustin.com or Community Austin on Instagram.
Yes.
That's the best place to go. And we'll be launching the website here in a week or two at the most. And you can find out more on there, or I'll be posting stuff about that on my channels. But as an introvert, I'm going to lean on Community Austin to do most of the work. And we will be back with another episode soon. So check us out. Again, I'm Mark Grasse, and this is the MEGAMAD podcast.
Appreciate you, and appreciate you, Austin. Thank you for all that you've done and showing the love and support that you've given me and my friends throughout the entire community. Without you, there is no community.